Three, two, one. Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Chapo, Thursday, June 30th. We are back. And I would just like to say at the top of the show, just in solidarity with anyone who was fired for voicing this opinion, but I say this as a lifelong New Yorker, bodegas suck. And you can take that to the bank. That's a Domenico promise.
If you speak against bodegas, it must be known that you will be compromised to a permanent end. We cannot allow bodega slander to persist. We can't let people think that having food deserts is not actually like authentic subaltern identity, and it's for you to point it out. It's actually good. Like all the terrible things capitalism does, they actually give you identity, so they're good. And if you say otherwise in a TikTok, we will put you in a fucking cannon and fire you into the Hudson River.
I mean, they're all right. I mean, they're all right. I mean, it's convenient to, have a place to get beer or,
all the dude said was, it's not a grocery store, which it is not. You can't get fresh fruits and vegetables and like produce in it.
What about cats though?
You can get like a dusty cabbage. You can get like a dirty carrot. You can get a sticky tomato that's kind of deflated. I just I don't really give a shit. I mean, like, I get mad every time like a guy or a girl gets fired over something like this. Like it does upset me, but it's like, that's not really going to change.
Well, I mean, you go if you're on TikTok, you're already kind of begging to get owned.
Yeah, you kind of
everyone's insane now.
Fired. But I'm more mad at just another party doing something I did 4 years ago again. I mean, I was the first guy to talk about bodegas and be like, these. No one talked about how they were bad before me.
It's true. Felix broke the tone of silence around bodegas.
Some would call me the Jackie Robinson of the bodega. Some would say I've called myself that.
So it's just it's a little bit of house cleaning at the top of the show. Just thought I would correct the record. Bodegas actually are not cool and a fun place to do your shopping, despite the fact they do have cats sitting on most of the products, which I understand it has some charm to it, but it's really not a substitute for an actual grocery store. Okay. Kicking off the show today, I would like to begin with another mild correction. Just, my bad. I'll eat some crow. After all the shit I talked about the January 6th committee hearings, I have to take it back now because they did expose to the American public and the world that Donald Trump throws burgers. He threw burger. He threw burger.
He threw burger. And he tried to grab a steering wheel.
Well, apparently not. I don't know.
No, unless you go on the record, who gives a shit?
Well,
if you're not under oath, it doesn't fucking matter what you say. And it barely does if you are.
I just want to, this is from the New York Times. He flung his lunch across the room, smashing the plate in a fit of anger as ketchup dripped down the wall. He appeared to endorse supporters who wanted to hang his own vice president. And in a scene laid out by a former aide that seemed more out of a movie than real life, he tried to wrestle away the steering wheel of his presidential vehicle and lunged at his own Secret Service agent.
Hell,
I mean, Matt, your point, like,
I mean, does anyone else, like, I guess I'll be the one who says it. Doesn't it kind of make him look good? Not like it's not good to do those things, but we previously thought he was just doing this thing where he's like, oh, I'm gonna get my mouth breathing supporters really angry and then let them get arrested. And it's like, no, he was trying to get coronated as like the king of the room temperature water brains, and they wouldn't let him. They committed mutiny against an American president by not letting him go to like the handsome Capitol party. And he was trying to go arrested, and they wouldn't let him. And it does kind of reflect well on him on a moral stance, some way.
No, yeah, he actually he had the courage of his convictions, at least as much as his fat little arms would carry him, but which is more than we thought before.
Yeah.
I will say this though, to echo the concerns of law professor Jonathan Turley, when he demanded that the Secret Service turn that limo around, how come they disobeyed a direct order from the commander in chief? I think it's something. I think maybe another committee hearing on that issue is worth bringing up.
You could say that it is like a counter coup there, but at the same time, the Secret Service does get like ultimate authority over the president's safety. Like the president, in order to protect him, they can kind of ignore what he wants.
Yeah, and it's also like, hey, take me to this unregulated riot site where like God knows who has guns and like who doesn't. Like, no, it's like, yeah, no one is following that order. And also like ignoring that, like ignoring the fact that it's just like an unregulated riot scene where people are armed. If he had gone, he really like he would be in prison now. That is like the one thing he could have done that would have actually put him in prison.
Yeah.
I'll notice that the Secret Service does appear to be doing some damage control on this, and I mean, like there's one Secret Service agent that said he's willing to testify that Trump did not try to grab the steering wheel, but I think it's telling the what they've said to the media. Just reading here from Yahoo News, former President Donald Trump would have had to squeeze through quote an extremely tight space to be able to grab the steering wheel of his SUV and lunge at a Secret Service agent, as former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified Tuesday. It's not impossible, one former Secret Service agent said, but it's also not likely for the 6'3", nearly 250-pound Trump, who the agent noted is not the most agile human being. Trump's not a little guy, right? And the space to be able to actually lunge towards the wheel is not that big, the former agent said, speaking on Background to Insider. I don't mean to sound disparaging to the former president, but just his girth would prevent him from actually getting to the steering wheel.
With all due respect, the president is too much of a fat old weakling to have been able to do that. I got to give the Democrats credit for this. So Roe versus Wade gets overturned on Monday, and everyone's like, holy shit. And they turn to the Democrats, and of course, they have nothing. They can't have nothing. And then they get, they sing the God Bless America, and they have some poems. They busted out 2 poems. That's how you know it was really serious. They had Pelosi read the IDF war criminal poem, and then they had Amanda Gorman bust out that sub lyrical miracle type poem like they had during the revolution. It was one if by land, two if by sea. Terrible poems. But they have it's other than that, it's like, what do you do? What are you here for, Democrats? And the answer is they go behind the counter and they're like, we got a super special edition of the January 6th show with new revelations. And everyone's like, oh, look at you. You're just trying to distract us from Roe versus Wade. This is so fucking cynical. And then, he threw burger. And it's like, God damn it. They know what they're doing. They're showmen, if nothing else. And what are we doing? We're like, we love it. Oh, man, talking about Trump and his burgers and getting his sticky little hands on the wheel of a steering wheel. And then him freaking out about it and saying things on Truth Social about Kate Hutchinson, like, bad handwriting, that of a wacko.
That of a wacko.
And it's like, oh my God, they brought it all back. It's like, it's okay. Rover, what about Roe? I'm feeling like the waters of Nepenthe just like wash me clear of any kind of anxiety. And now here I am just having fun with the big wet boy. And that's all thanks to the Democrats. Kudos to them.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say that making him post the first good truths ever, I mean, this really is the party of Hollywood.
Yeah.
No one's there have been no good truths up to this point. All the truths have been like the Republican version of the Mueller investigation, where it's like, oh, did you know that Glenn Simpson actually knew Greg Zamorfi?
It's true.
The thing that they were saying wasn't true. Glenn Simpson and Greg Zamorfi actually were partners in Merry-Go-Round LLC. This blows the whole thing open, like just saying shit like that. But now he's posted truths that were exactly why we remember him on Twitter so much.
Yep.
Handwriting of
that of a wacko.
Really great.
Where are you going to get that sort of genius Yoda-like elocution from Trump? It's amazing.
That of a wacko. What's her name? Casey Hutchinson, though. Matt, you pointed this out. I think you're correct. She should be brought up on perjury charges for claiming that she tried to help a White House valet clean ketchup off the Lincoln bedroom walls.
No way.
Yeah, you joined the Trump White House because you just love helping out the working man. Like half of the fun isn't like putting lit cigarettes out on valets.
It's like ever since I heard about the burger throwing, the burger tantrum, because I mean burgers have defined so much of his presidency. So much of our reality.
Sense. I mean, they define the country. They should define the presidency.
Yeah.
Burgers all the way down.
Everything I heard about the burger tantrum, all I've been thinking of is remember the pickles from Billy Madison, where they all just whip pickles at a fucking glass window and watch them slide down. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of like burgers just sliding down the wall of like the portrait of John F. Kennedy in the White House.
Yes.
just then leaving a nice snail trail of ketchup just as it slides greasily onto the floor.
They're never, as I said before, they're never, even though Brandon has been there for a year and a half now, they absolutely still have the burger smell in all the curtains. There's no way that place doesn't just smell like ketchup.
So yeah, like kudos to the Democrats for providing us, with more I mean, he's going to jail now, folks. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
like
it's over.
he's going to jail. It's over. It's over. It's curtains for Trump. I mean, do you think that like his 2024 prospects will be dinged at all? I mean, I keep hearing about DeSantis or whatever, but DeSantis is
Nah.
he's not putting truths like that of a wacko.
Well,
He's not
like,
putting stuff like putting fire like that out there.
Everybody who thinks DeSantis can win doesn't realize that if DeSantis runs against Trump, then Trump's entire body, mind, and soul, his incredible power, like his Sauron like energy and ability to like focus attention, will be on destroying Ron DeSantis. He will be
Yeah.
Jeb Bushed. You think he can stand against this guy who looks like a fucking Sharpei being taught algebra and is known for by maybe like a third of the U.S. population, mostly the complete politics poison dorks who don't even make up a majority of primary voters? Nah, Trump will squash him.
In the off event that DeSantis like squeaked by with a win, he would be, I mean, it would be fucking 1992. He's not winning the presidential election. Brandon wins like a plurality election with 47% of the vote to DeSantis's like 26%, and then Trump's 23%.
Because
Trump isn't letting that just happen. Yeah.
Why would Trump not run against him? What would stop him? Oh, I want to make sure a Republican wins because I care about their agenda being passed.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And yeah, DeSantis' governor signing statement. Like DeSantis' governor, we already made the comp of Josh Hallway to Elizabeth Warren, right?
Yeah.
But DeSantis has a lot of the similar thing where he takes whatever internet thing of the week among like conservative politics freaks and does like an executive order or rushes a bill through the Florida State House and State Senate really quickly. But that resonates like lead with the majority of, yes, even presidential primary voters.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they don't care. They care about the big, beautiful boy telling them about how they have big dumps. Not him, you. Not me, you. At this point, don't we know that that's what we all really want out of this? Is some fucking-tainment? And yes, DeSantis does provide a type of entertainment. This like the pure resentment thing of like watching your enemies unhappy. But that's a less exalted form. And as long as we're still having these things carried out in public for an audience of spectators, they're going to go for the fucking razzle dazzle, man, over policy and a coherent worldview.
On policy, though, I just want to just a tip of the hat to Dark Brandon, who a day after sending Kamala Harris on TV to say that they won't fuck with the filibuster to codify Roe, announced at like the G7 summit that that's exactly what they're considering doing. So, I mean, like, I think, Wiley Dark Brandon, I mean, his approval rating may be in the shitter, but like he's doing everything possible to prevent Kamala Harris from being the nominee.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because like, I think it should be stipulated they're not going to do anything about the filibuster. But just the fact that now Brandon is going to gesture towards it before giving up and then leaves Kamala out there to dry with the do what now?
Do what now?
The fucking meat wad moment where she just goes, do what now?
Pop the balloon with the glass. Do what now?
Clearly they want to beat him. They want to fend her off. But I got to say, I think Brandon is missing the forest for the trees here. I hesitate to say this because I don't want to fucking get into the meme bullshit, and I certainly don't want to make it seem like any of this matters on a macro level. We're seeing what the Supreme Court is doing. Like the writing is on the wall. They're about to allow
independent state legislator doctrine. I mean, which would be like, okay, like the effect. I mean, they're going to hear it. They're going to hear a case that's going to basically that is designed to achieve this absolutely crackpot interpretation of the Constitution, which, if it were to pass, hilariously, it would basically mean that states do not have to hold presidential elections. Like they can just decide
not with results that the state legislatures would be bound to accept.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, their electors by a vote of legislators and then send them in there, which means that the legislatures of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, which are all Republican, and all of which ended up having to, because of the law, submit slates of electors that had Biden winning in those states. Instead, you could have those legislatures get together, say, we have these irregularities, and as a result, we're not recognizing this vote.
I don't think they would even have to say that. I don't think they would even have to claim irregularities.
I mean, they can, like, I think they probably would. Just same reason that the Nazis put a fucking attack to like did a false flag attack on a Polish border crossing before they invaded.